Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Jeff Lovejoy, and I am what's called a business coach, which means I work with business owners and business leaders to help them grow their businesses. And oftentimes I do that by helping them overcome the challenges that they have in running their business. Effective leaders are all about influence. It's not, damn it, do it. It's about influence. Now, there are times where there's got to be that you got to do it, but the willingness of the people to follow that you got to do it is dependent upon your building up a deposit prior to the need for that to happen. Communications. Is it a one-way street or is it a two-way street? Two-way. Two-way. Absolutely, it's two-way. It's not just the words you say, but you got to make sure, as an effective leader, that your words are being heard and they're being understood. A lot of times, if we're not doing that, well, I told them that, I told you that, but I didn't get any acknowledgement back that the person understood. And so, whose fault is that? Generally, in a conversation like that.
Both.
Both.
For the speaker.
But it's the speaker, because I'm not getting the buy-in. The other person is being who they are, and we'll talk about this. They're being who they are. I haven't affirmed and acknowledged that they understood what I said. And so do you ever have those conversations where it's like, maybe it's with kids, maybe it's with other people you work with, maybe it's with teammates. I told you that. How come you didn't get that done? Well, you know, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it, and you never came back to me to confirm whether I understood it or not. So it just went right over my head. So that's what we're going to talk about. The two words that are the worst words in the U.S. language that prevent learning are those two that are up on the screen right now. I know. As soon as you say I know, what happens?
You shut them down.
You shut your mind is shut to any ideas, isn't it? And the person you're talking to could have the very idea that you need, but I'm not hearing it because I know. No, I've been doing this 15 years. There's nothing you can tell me. I know it. I know it. But you don't know it. And so oftentimes, at least in business, it's the little details that make a business an average business to an exceptional business. But I didn't hear it because I said I know. Yes?
I think too, though, you know, you can also talk about distractions and for this exact point too, that folks on your team may get distracted by things that you're not seeing or care about or focus, so you have to acknowledge that, but to pull them back on
Great point.
task.
How come it's taking you 8 hours to do this thing? It should only take you 2 hours. Well, because you're not seeing all this other stuff that's happening you got to deal with.
Or even things going on in their personal
Personal
lives
life?
that are
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Well, and we're all predisposed to a certain point of view. And so we're judging everything through that particular lens.
So I want to go back to this statement. People are generally more receptive to people like themselves. What do you think about that statement? Yes?
I disagree.
You disagree with it? All right, you want to talk about it?
Well, I think that everybody can be receptive or not receptive depending on the way that you express your message.
Okay. Okay. Not disagreeing. But do you find yourself listening more and building rapport with people that are more like you than people who aren't? And I don't mean, you know, prejudices come into play, stereotypes come into play, all kinds of things come into play that aren't there if you're dealing with like people. I have a friend who drives me nuts because everything has got to be he's very logical. And in my mind, he over-rationalizes. So I tend to kind of not spend as much time with him because I don't like that.
Well, we just went to an exercise a couple of months ago, you know, a personality exercise.
Myers-Briggs.
Yes.
Yes.
It was how you work with somebody who has, let's say, a different personality than yours. And it's the way that you communicate and the way that you take advantage of what you might be lacking, let's say in your business from that person, how you work together with this person and take advantage of the skill or something that this person doesn't have, or that this person has that you don't have.
Absolutely. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm going to show you another model, DISC. It's a simpler model to use in terms of understanding and identifying the other person's behavioral style. And so to the extent you can figure out who they are, you can then morph into more being like them. So, what would happen if you have a D trying to communicate? Let's say each of you in the room are a D, and you've got to communicate with me who's a C. What do you suppose is going to happen? You can't hear each other. So if neither of you morph, is anything going to happen? I mean, is there real true communication going on?
And creates super high anxiety for the C.
Super high anxiety.
Death of the D.
And frustration for the D.
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand why Emily can't get this done. Why is she so slow? Good grief. So can you understand the difference? Can you see it? Sometimes talking about it theoretically, I find this to be helpful because you can. These people, look how much fun they're going to have at their party. I don't know about this one. It's short. They got
going to midnight.
They don't even know what